Well, my fellow Drifter Maniacs, so welcome to my WL Toys 144001 review. Now, if you're one of my regular viewers, you will know I've been on the hunt for a fantastic sub-$100 RC car for the past couple of years. I keep finding ones thinking, is this the one, is this the one? And it's not. The Banggood Q902 was pretty darn good, I have to say. That's my best one so far at under $100. Now, as I say, this car has caught my attention in the past couple of weeks, seen a few videos online over it. It's been on back order for a little while, but there is one good thing that has arisen out of that being on back order that I shall come on to in just a second. First of all, what is there to like about this? Well, the thing is absolutely packed full of metal, which is always a good sign, but more importantly, jumping out from the box there, that's 60 km/h speed. 60 km/h? That works out as just over 37 miles an hour. Now that is faster than a Traxxas car at $200 or $300 is out of the box. See where I'm coming from here, guys? Now the downside is this is a tiny little battery, so I shouldn't imagine the runtime is going to be as big as on something like the Q902, but we shall see. But likewise, with having that 550 can motor in there, this thing should be an absolute little rocket ship, as we will see later on in this video when I take it outside for a little play around the yard. Now, I did mention there was something good that had come out of this being on back order, and that is we are now coming up on Black Friday, and there is a link to this car below this video. If you bought it last week, it was yours for about 90 bucks, but Banggood have now got this on a Black Friday sale where you can pre-order the thing for around about 72 bucks. So me getting the car late is your good fortune, because if you like what you see today, you can get it for $20 less than you would have done last week. Anyway, I have a few things planned for this car this week. The first of all is a GPS speed test, first of all on 2S and then 3S, because it will actually take 3S according to the instructions. And then I've got an idea for a head-to-head test, of which I've already given you a hint to just now. Anyway, let me get the camera down, let's see what we get for our money, and then take it outside. If you like what you see today, don't forget to subscribe. Okay, so what is there to like about this car? Well, besides the 60 km/h top speed, 114 scale four-wheel drive, it's brushed, but it's got a big 550 can motor in there. Now we've got our traditional USB charger, as a lot of these smaller cars from China begin to have. Instruction manual in there, little wheel wrench in there. Well, taking a quick look at the transmitter, we've got throttle, reverse, brake on there, steering left to right. Here we have throttle dual rate on here and steering trim on here. There's also a button marked 1 to 4, which I need to read the instructions on, see if that does anything or not. On off switch here, 4A batteries in the bottom, and you're ready to go. Anyway, let's get the car out, and I'm liking what I see already. So that's what you get for your money, but let me get the body film off the car and let's get down and have a look up close and personal to it. Okay, just quickly removing that body film. I've seen another couple of reviews where people actually left the body film on the car. They may not have known it was on there, as they tend to look 10 times better with the film off. Let's have a quick spin around the outside of the car. I'm liking what I'm seeing from the outset. You asked me if Armour were ever to make a small car, this is probably what it would look like. Why is that, Richie? Well, we have a metal shock tower on here. Not only that, we've got metal plate for holding the hinge pins in place, which is virtually unseen of at this price point, as is the threaded aluminum shocks on here. Aluminum shock caps, aluminum shock body on here. We've also got fully adjustable front suspension, and moving back to the rear, you've got the same fully adjustable aluminum threaded shocks on there, and again fully adjustable suspension. That's the kind of features that you find on like a $400 or $500 RC car, not one that is below $70. As I say, it looks much better with the body film peeled off the car. That's a metal shock tower at the rear as well, and diving around the back. Also got a metal bracket there for the rear hinge pins. So all in all, I'm liking the look of this car. Now this tyre tread pattern, that feels quite rubbery as opposed to plasticky like some of these smaller cars can do. I'm thinking on blacktop this is going to give absolutely excellent grip, but we shall see later on today. I think maybe hard packed dirt, that will be good. Also test it on grass and see how we get on. Anyway, Thumbs up if you like what you see so far, because I cannot wait to get this thing outside to test it. More to the point, let me get that body off. And we're getting straight to the heart of the matter. I'm going to take the battery out because I want to put that straight on charge. We have a 2S 1500 milliamp LiPo on there. It will take a 3S LiPo, so I'm going to have a look around my toolbox to see if I can find one of those for the speed test on there. Okay, with the battery on charge, let's start at the front of the car. We've got a front diff tucked away in there. As I say, threaded aluminium shocks all round, and they are oil filled. These aren't friction ones, these are proper ones that you can fill with proper oil, which is a feature not often seen in sub-$100 cars. You've got metal shock tower mount on here. Not only that, the hinge pins are held in by metal plate there. As I say, fully adjustable suspension. Just to zoom in on the C-cup there. And looking at that tyre tread, I would say this thing should be pretty darn good on blacktop or maybe hard packed dirt. I would need to test them on a loose surface to see how good they are on there, but I would think also on dry grass they should fly through that. Anyway, moving on back, we've got a metal brace, which is a good sign. Our steering servo, now it's a 4-wire one leading to a combined ESC and receiver. Now, this leaves two issues. If you were to upgrade this, even keeping the stock motor in place, say, but fitting a bigger ESC in there, not only are you going to need to fit a separate receiver, but you're also going to need to fit a different servo, because most modern servos have 3 wires to them. This has got 4 wires coming out of it. However, I use the Dumbo RC 6-channel receivers from Banggood, which are $9.99 a piece, and likewise you can get a servo for around about the same money. Link to both of those below the video. So you could keep this brushed and still give it a good upgrade for more speed on there, or you could change that motor for a faster brushed one to keep the cost down if you don't want to go the brushless route. If you did want to go the brushless route, you've still got the same issue. You're going to need to swap out the ESC and fit a new receiver and servo as well. But as you might gather, I'm already thinking of doing that. Now that battery tray, the interconnector on there, if you were to remove that, you've immediately got an extra 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches on there that you could fit a much longer pack down that side. So you've got options. And if you're looking at a battery tray, you're thinking, hey Rich, that's metal. That is because the entire chassis of the car is a metal one. Now, is it a strong metal? Will it bend? That remains to be seen. Anyway, check out those rear A-arms. It is looking quite impressive from the outset. Moving on to the back, we've got our pinion and spur gear tucked away in there. Now, I believe that this is just a fixed position on there, meaning that you can't fit a bigger pinion to the car. But yours truly will have a look at that off camera and see what can be done, as I have a very, very good feeling about this car. Okay, moving on back. We've got the rear diff tucked away in there. There is no centre diff in here, it is just direct drive on there. But as I say, fully adjustable suspension at the rear, threaded shocks, and that nice little rear wing, albeit sat on a plastic mount as opposed to metal. Anyway, looking at the amount of metal and the fact that all the shocks are adjustable, the suspension's adjustable, you are getting a huge value for money here. It shows somebody has very clearly thought about the design of this car. Anyway, time for a quick suspension test, and fingers crossed by then that battery should be charged. Okay, lift the front wheel until the rear comes off. Oh, more travel than I thought in there. That's about 2 inches of travel. It's not badly damped. I will first of all run it and then check how much oil we've got in there. I hope that makes sense. It's just I'm keen to get out and test this thing. Lifting that up until the front comes up. Maybe about 1 inch of travel at the rear. Less travel at the rear, but that is not untypical of these cars. Well, thumbs up if you like what you've seen so far, guys. I just heard the battery charger bleeping away at me, so I think the battery pack is ready. The one thing I would say is, once you've got metal chassis, metal shock towers, etc., having looked online at Banggood, every single part, like all of these A-arms, everything that's plastic on the car pretty much, you can replace with metal parts. So I would think maybe another $50–60 thrown at this and you can have a car that is totally made out of metal. Hence my tongue-in-cheek comment that if Armour made 1/14 scale cars, they'd probably start off looking like this. Anyway, let me grab that battery, head outside. I've got the battery in the WL Toys 144001. I think weight-wise, probably weighs about a couple of pounds, so she's got a lot of metal in there. Now, that steering, nice, strong, quick steering servo in there to my mind. Now, whilst that's quick steering bodes well from the outset, you've got the little 2S LiPo in there, but as I say, it will take 3S, and look at this. this little venom pack I've got in there should, with it remove the battery tray, should slide in there without any problems. So a bit of Velcro stuck to the bottom, and we should be able to run this on 3S. And I wonder what the runtime on 3S is with this, and never mind the speed. Now, whilst this car promises to be quite a fast little one, with the throttle dual rate dialed right down, full throttle, and we're off and running. So we're going to need to tweak that up quite a bit, get a bit more speed on this. So, oh, that's just with it turn right down. Initial thoughts are this thing's going to handle quite well. Anyway, without more ado, let's turn that steering the throttle rate, dual rate right up. Oh man, I can see why they've got the throttle dual rate on there. Oh lord, oh my! I'll tell you now from the outset. Brakes okay, it's brakes so, but then it's shifting across this yard. First thoughts are, oh, lifting the inside front rear wheel there, and the inside front wheel on there, no turning. This promises to be a huge amount of fun. Wanting to lift that wheel. Tyres aren't too bad on here. Wanting to grip more than slip, should we say? That steering. I think Racer RC commented on there that it could do with steering dual rate, and I think I might have to agree. Certainly I don't have to watch the steering, but it's quick to get you into trouble, quick to get you out of trouble, if you know what I mean. Full throttle turns on there. Brakes could be a little improved, but then saying that, it is carrying a lot of speed in a very small space. Ooh. That just wheelied. Anyway, straight onto the grass. I expect it. They don't give a huge battery life on the car here. My outside lights there because it's getting dark. Now, not getting kicked around too badly, he says, but they are, as I say, oil-filled dampers on here. I'm going to take my part after this and handling on grass. Oh, what's a wheelie? So, bit of rearward bias on there. There's no diff on there. Just direct drive. Just checking that steering out on the grass under full throttle. Oh, no, not too bad. Not too bad. But I suspect its forte is a woo. Quick enough to have fun with, but predictable enough to get you out of trouble. I have to say, it promises to be if this is what it's like on 2S, goodness knows what it's like on 3S. Now the battery is already beginning to weaken a little bit, but then they only claim 7 minutes out of it, but that's only from 1500 milliamp pack. Now bear in mind, you can easily fit in a 2200 milliamp Onyx pack. It's going to fit in there without any problem at all. So I think that you're probably going to give you closer to 12-15 minutes of runtime. Holds its line very well indeed. Runs nice and straight, I have to say. Brakes, maybe. I'd say now on the brakes could have to do with improving, but is it just because it's carrying so much speed? Quite predictable. Low speed handling, pretty good. As I say, you can turn that dual rate down and full throttle on with the dual rate turned halfway down, and you're not going to have any problems. So if you've got a younger person that is running this car, or you're new to RC and you want to get used to the speed, I would say this has got a lot going for it. Brakes would be my only criticism. Brakes could be marginally better, but if that's the only criticism, that's not bad at all. I think on blacktop this thing will be like sticks to the road like glue, because this concrete is actually lets the car get unseated a bit, because it doesn't give as much grip as blacktop does. But with that throttle turned right up, it was not expecting me at enough power to wheelie. I'm going to take this out to a much bigger area, because I think it's carrying a little bit too much speed for the driveway here, and those brakes aren't absolutely on the money. But I have to say, well, for its first outing, the WL Toys 144001 has me severely impressed. Huge potential in here. Without a shadow of a doubt, this is the best sub $100 RC car I have tested so far. This thing is flying on 2S. The amount of metal and the adjustability on there simply staggering at this price point. Talking of price points, there is a link to it below the video where you can pick it up at Banggood on the Black Friday pricing, where you can get it down from $90 down to around about $72. So I would go over there right now and get your pre-order in. And as it keeps repeatedly selling out, to my mind, that is a good sign that this thing is selling
selling well because it drives very well indeed. Now, I am going to be speed testing it later on this week on 2S and then on 3S. I'm going to give it a couple of runs to just kind of break itself in to start with on there. And I'm also going to time the duration of the pack. I'm going to be testing it on blacktop, gravel and grass later on this week, as well as a rather unique head-to-head test against a maybe somewhat larger rival. But I'm guessing this little fella might win that race. Now, I hinted at it earlier on in the video. If you can guess what that might be, then have your say in the comment section below the video. Anyway, you're going to see a lot more of this car over the coming few days. So if you don't want to miss those videos, including the speed test, then don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Well, thumbs up if you like this video, guys. Post any comments you might have in the comment section below the video and hit the circle below to subscribe. And if you do hit the circle, don't forget to hit the bell.